Alright, step number 9. Let's rock and roll here. Okay, we've got pieces and parts laid out here. What we want to do is to put the truss on, which is part number AX80072. I do want to bring to note here that I have a media kit and maybe this needs to be changed. However, the tree part number is saying to use part number 1. And as we look at part number 1 on the tree, hold on here. As we look at part number 1 on the tree, that is actually the wrong one. I think that the directions need to say part number 2. So take a look at your manual, and again, I don't know if that's been fixed or not in the manual for the ones that are going out to market. So just beware that I believe that to be backwards. Or it could just be me. I'm just looking at pictures. So we're going to take the truss, and there's a hole here and a hole in the center. We're going to take and drop the truss down and then use our fingers and slide it over so that the little indentation there aligns up. We're aligned up on the top with no gaps, and we're aligned up on the whole thing. Now there's 3 screws that we're going to put in here, and the first one, let's go ahead and try it out. It's going to be the long one, and that's going to slide through here, and again that's the longest of the screws that are left in your bucket there. Go ahead and screw that in. As we're getting ready to put the other 2 screws in the top, which you'll see right here, they are 2 different lengths, and you're going to want the longer of the 2, and these are a flathead screw which have a bevel on the bottom and they're flat on the top. The shorter of the 2 is going to go down below. It helps to use the right wrench. So yes, that's the shorter of the 2. And again, these are ones that you do not want to over tighten. They need to be snug, but don't over tighten them because you will strip them out. So just go in until they touch, and then just a little tad bit more. Then we're going to put the longer of the 2 in the top hole and get that tightened down. The next steps are going to be to get the shock mounts. There are 2 of them, and they are part number AX80070-1, and there are 2 part 1s. So in other words, they're universal. It doesn't matter out of the 2 which way you put them, which side they go on. So we're going to place the rear diff unit here, just like it is here. And we're going to get the 2 shock mounts, and we'll start with one. When you look at these, if you hold them straight, in other words straight like this, you'll see that it's at an angle here, and we need to watch that angle when we put them on. As you can see in the directions here, the taller part, or the part that's longer this way, is going to go towards the top, and they fit into this hole right here. And there's actually little nubs here that will align up and press into that portion on the axle. This is a little difficult to hold on to all this. We're going to take the longer screws here, which are a cap screw. I'm going to slide one through, and we need to put nuts in there. So actually, let's back up a step and take the little nylock nuts, and we're going to press them down inside. If you take a look in there, you can see that there's indentations where these are going to slide in. So I'm going to take and The way I like to do this is to take the screw and slightly screw in the hex nut, so just maybe a half a turn, and then find the groove and pull on it, and it will seat that nut down inside. When you take that out, you can use your wrench or something and make sure that it's completely pushed down in. That's just kind of a little secret that I learned a while back that works for me most of the time. Sometimes when you get on the larger end here, it's a little bit difficult to get that screw on a turn or two, but it's not that bad. I'm going to pull on that until the screw sets in. Okay, now back to putting it together. Let's make sure we have the right orientation here, and the tall end or the fatter end goes to the top. Put that together and screw it on. Helps to use the right wrench. Don't over tighten it because you can crush the axle there. Okay. That's good. It's going to look like, again, here's the truss and the fatter end of the shocks towers here. Shock mounts go up towards the truss. I'm going to go ahead and put the other one off camera, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're all done with step number 9, and this is what your rear axle should look like. Again, just to recap, the fatter end of the shock mount goes up towards the truss. Also, part number on the truss is -2, not -1. Okay, and again, everything's moving freely, and we're all good. Okay, let's get all set up and ready to go on to the next step.